Oftentimes, the thing that brings a build fully together is a small detail, and one small detail that's often overlooked on these newer Mustangs is the reverse light at the bottom of the bumper. This Euro-style LED combo light not only changes up the look with its clean modern style, but it also introduces more bright lighting elements so it increases your visibility out on the road. It's the perfect detail to bring together the build of your 24 and newer Mustang, and it's made even better by the affordable price. Your Mustang's reverse light is a necessary safety item, but that doesn't mean that it has to be boring. This Euro-style light has a few key features that set it apart from the other options out there. First thing you're going to notice is that smoked lens. Now this is great because it helps the light blend in more with the lower valence. As you can see on our car here, it's a little less obvious at a glance. It cleans up the look of the car's rear end, but that stealthy appearance doesn't come at the expense of lighting output. Quite the opposite, in fact. This is going to end up being brighter than your factory light. Now you've got 3 sections of bright white LEDs here that make up the reverse portion, 1, 2, and 3. These will throw a ton of light out the back, making it easier for you to see and be seen while you're reversing. Where this light really differs, though, is in the additional brake light. This red wing-shaped section here in the center not only breaks up those other white LEDs and provides a cool look, but it's meant to function as an additional brake light. It too is powered by bright LEDs, and it makes it so your Mustang won't be missed out on the road because it's adding, well, a 4th brake light down at the bottom of the bumper. Now this is a completely LED powered setup, so there are no incandescent bulbs to worry about here, meaning it's going to have a long life and you don't need to stress over replacing bulbs. The housing is constructed from OEM grade ABS plastic, and the components are weather sealed to keep out dirt and moisture. Plus you've got that smoked polycarbonate lens over top. Now polycarbonate is super strong and clear, so this should look good for a long time. And since this one has that smoked color to it, it makes for a pretty subtle, near factory looking upgrade versus your stock light. Pricing comes in at about $150, and really that's not a whole lot to ask for this. You might think it's expensive at first glance, but this is kind of a unique product in the market. For the enhancement in looks, lighting output, and safety that this can provide, I think it's a small price to pay. It's certainly cheaper than an OEM replacement, and it has some nice upgrades versus the less expensive options as well. And again, it's just this one small detail that can really bring together the look of a car's build. So for that reason alone, I'm a pretty big fan. Installation is going to get a 2 out of 3 on our difficulty meter, and the job should take you around 2 hours to complete. Now we're building in a little bit of extra difficulty and a little bit of extra time here because there is some wiring that you need to complete in order to get the brake light working properly. However, everything comes pretty much ready to go for you. You've got these 2 quick connectors already done for you. You've just got to run the wires and tap these into the right wires in the rest of your harness. Even if you haven't tackled any automotive wiring before, this is a pretty straightforward job that you can complete at home. Plus, we're going to walk you through that entire process right now, step by step. So for that, let's head on out to the shop.
For this install, you need a 3/8 ratchet, 3/8 extension, 7mm socket, and a clip removal tool. All right, today we're going to be installing a reverse light on our Mustang, so let's get started. So we're going to start by going underneath our car and removing all of our 7mm bolts that go across the back here. Now we're just going to take this off, pull this cover out of the way, and pull the diffuser down just enough to be able to get to the 4 bolts that hold in our factory reverse light. So we have a ratchet, extension, and 7mm socket. We're going to take these off. Now that's going to allow us to pull this down out of the way, and we'll be able to go underneath, pull this down, and get inside the back of the diffuser. So as you can see here, we're pulling down our diffuser to access our reverse light. So we have our connector, and we have 4 bolts, 2 on the bottom, and then 2 up top. They are all 7mm bolts. We're going to use our same ratchet for the extension and 7mm socket. First, we're going to unplug our light. There's a white locking tab. You're going to pull back and push down and release. You can set that off on the side. Then we can take all 4 bolts out. All right, then we can just pull our light out, just like so. So now we have our new light. Now we'll deal with these separate wires later. They're for our brake light. So we're gonna get this up in place and just stick it up on our mounting points. Now it's gonna stay a little bit, but we will get our 4 7mm screws we can get them started by hand so it's not going to fall out. And then we'll grab our ratchet and socket and tighten them down. Get started with our ratchet here. And we can go ahead and tighten these all down. All right, you'll see we have a spot here for our factory plug, so we'll plug that in, push that until it clicks, and then secure down the white locking tab. So next you'll see our two connectors for our brake light. Now this has to go to our tail light. You'll see a grommet here for the wiring harness. You can actually just pull that through for now, and then we're just going to shove our wiring up into our trunk, and we'll go ahead and pull up our extra, and we can secure our grommet once we're inside the trunk. But for now, we're just going to tuck the rest of our wiring harness back there. We'll pull it up later, but we'll go ahead and get our cover back on and our bolts down here reinstalled. Now we're going to go back all the way across and install all of our screws of our ratchet and 7mm socket. All right, so now we're done underneath the car. We're gonna go into our trunk. So real quick before we do wire up our brake light, there are a couple different ways to do this. How we're gonna do it, which is the easier way, is to wire it up into our tail light here, which is our brake light. The bad part about that is also our turn signal. So when you do wire it up, it will flash with the turn signal. Now that is the simplest way to do it. If you wanna do it correctly so that it won't flash, you can wire it up to the third brake limb. You can wire it up to the third brake light. Unfortunately, that is under the headliner, so you need to extend the wires and run them all the way up there and figure out what exactly wires you need to go to. So we're just going to do the simple way, go to our tail light and get our wires put on. So now we're in the trunk, we're going to lift up our access panel. As you can see here, I already pulled up the wiring up through our grommet. Once you get all the extra up, you're going to pull that grommet up and seat it into the trunk. I know you probably can't see this because everything is blocking the way, but just make sure that the grommet is seated so you don't have an open hole into the trunk. Now we're gonna bring our wire over here. You can tuck it up underneath this panel here, but we're actually gonna remove this push clip here, our clip removal tool. So on the side here, we're gonna pull back our carpet. There's one push clip here. Just gonna grab our clip removal tool, pop that out. Then we're gonna pull our carpet down and you'll see our tail light harness here. Now there is a connector, pull that off by hand, so you can get a little better access. Now you're gonna see two wires. We already have our T-taps on them. So we're actually gonna remove our T-taps since these are basically T-taps itself. They just clamp over the wire. So we're gonna remove these and get these wires put on. And I'll go over where the red and the white goes in a second. So I just pulled our wiring out a little bit more so you can see. So we're gonna take our red power wire and go to our gray and yellow wire here. So just get that in that groove and pinch that down. And as for our negative, we're going to go to our white and gray wire for here. Our negative will be our white wire. So we'll do the same thing. Get that lined up and pinch that down. Now you can go ahead and just tuck the wiring back. Tuck all the extra away. You can secure it up if you want, but we're just gonna tuck it under our trim here. And just let that rest behind here, and we'll put our carpet back. We're just gonna tuck our carpet back away and reinstall our push clip over here. And that wraps up our install of our Euro style LED third brake reverse light, smoked for our 2024 newer Mustang. And remember, for everything Mustang, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.